Okay, so hello everyone, Merry Christmas to all of you. I have a problem with this vehicle. This engine is producing a loud whining sound, especially when you rev up the engine. So join me in ascertaining the problem, okay? But first, let me show you what I mean. So anyway, I hope you heard that. That's the loud whining sound that I was telling you about. Now I assume it's being caused by this idler pulley, okay? Because usually when it's a whining sound, it's something mechanical like bearing or metal to metal contact. And if it's a squeaking sound, then it has something to do with the belt. But like I've said in this video and also in this video, it's okay to assume, but we must verify that assumption. So that's what we will do. Just for us to rule out if the sound is being caused by the belt, what we're just going to do is use this, just drop, pour water there, especially on the inside of the belt. See? This is much easier if we have a spray can, something like that, or maybe even a hose. Let's just do that, okay? Let's just wet that, and then let's turn on the engine, okay? Okay, so let's see. I'll try to rev this engine up. The sound is still there, okay? So as you have seen, the whining sound is still there. Like I've said, usually if it's a whining sound, it is usually something mechanical like metal to metal contact, bearings and such. And if it's a squeaking sound, it is usually caused by the belt. So the reason why we applied water on this belt is to rule out if it's caused by the squeaking sound made by the belt. So as we have seen, it's not, so we are now sure it's not the belt, okay? So like I've said, I suspect the sound is being caused by this idler bearing. In order for us to rule that out, I will try to put some oil on there, okay? Hold on. Let me just spray some oil on there, okay? I suppose you can also use WD-40, but do not, okay, I repeat, do not, as much as possible, spray this WD-40 on the clutch or the AC compressor if you suspect it's the clutch for the AC compressor or your hydraulic pump, okay? Do not spray WD-40 if you suspect that the whining sound is being produced by this one, because this is not lubricating oil. This is penetrating oil. Lubricating oil like engine oil or gear oil is supposed to lubricate parts in order to avoid metal to metal contact. Say between here and here, in between that, there must be a thin layer of lubricating oil in order for the parts not to come into contact with each other. That is what lubricating oil is about. You do not have that, you're going to have metal to metal contact. Now, WD-40 is not intended to lubricate parts. This is intended to penetrate into parts wherein you want to come loose. Say, for example, a bolt that is very tight. It's called penetrating oil because even though it's very tight, you apply this. This is designed to go in between those parts in order for you to get that loose, okay? That is why I said, do not spray this on your AC compressor or the hydraulic pump or maybe even the crankshaft, because this is penetrating oil and this is going to penetrate into the seal of the AC compressor or your hydraulic pump or the crankshaft seal. So if you use this, that is going to cause those parts to leak, okay? It's not going to happen overnight, maybe not even in weeks, but in a matter of months, you're going to have leaks. So avoid using WD-40 on those parts like I mentioned, okay? So now I've already doused this with engine oil, okay? Let's start the engine again and let's see. So as you have seen, or as you have noticed, the whining sound practically disappeared, or it lessened considerably. So I am now sure that the whining sound is being caused by this idler pulley. So let me take the belt out as well as this idler pulley, and let's see if we need to replace this or maybe we can still salvage this, okay? So I've already removed the belt. Now if you're wondering how to do that, I've already shown how to do that in this video, okay? So just watch this video. I'll post a link of that in the description below, okay? So now we can remove this idler pulley, 14 mm bolt. Okay, there it goes. Very easy. Okay, it's coming. Okay, so there it is, our idler pulley. Okay, let me, you can take out the bolt. Okay, washer, and there's our bearing. Let's clean that up and let's see what type of bearing this is. It's just diesel. Let's see. Actually, you really do not have to do this, but I just have this habit of, I already took it out, might as well give it a good clean as well. So we can now read the bearing size. As you can see, it's 6301, and if I'm not mistaken, there are two inside. But let's see. Let's take this snap ring out. Okay. And then let's punch this out. You see, when it comes to this, you don't actually have to replace the entire assembly. You just have to replace the bearings inside, and at times you don't even have to replace it, okay? I'll just show you, okay? First, let's take it out. Just use this rusty socket, okay? Okay, we use that, and then we will punch it out. One bearing out, and there's one more. So I was correct, two bearings. Okay, so here are the bearings. Let me check for play. There's a little bit of play, but not considerable. Okay, here little bit, but not too much. I would still believe that this still would work, okay? Now ideally it would be better to just go out and buy replacement bearings, but if we can still salvage this, then why replace it, okay? This not being cheap, this being practical, and I'll show you. You see, the inside of this bearing is supposed to be packed with grease, and as time goes by, you see it becomes dry, or the grease is all used up. Now that should be packed with grease. Let's remove the seal on the other side, okay? And it's the same story. Let's put that here, and let's do the same for this bearing, okay? And it's the same story. Let's remove the other side, and it's the same story. So I'll give this bearing a good clean. Okay. We can still salvage this. Like I've said, the play is not that considerable. I do believe the whining sound is just produced because the grease has already dried out. Okay, so clean. So let me try to blow the remaining dirt or remaining dry grease out. Let's do the other side. Okay, so squeaky clean. So the bearings are all clean now. As you can see, even the seals are all clean now. The dried black grease has already been brushed off. See, a while ago it was all black. So the only thing left for us to do is to pack this with new grease and just pack it as compact as you can. Okay, okay, and just like that. Now let's push the seal back in, dust cover, and that's that. Wipe off the excess. And that's that. This bearing is now repaired. See, the play is practically gone. Now I'll do this one. So bearings are now re-greased. It's time to push this back in. Okay, very easy. Let's first do the first one. Okay, when you hear that sound, that means it's all the way in. Okay, so there it goes. Of course, do not forget to install the snap ring back in place. This is intended to keep the bearing in. Okay, there it goes. Washer or dust cover, bolt, enter there, and then washer spacer. Okay, so install it back there, very easy. Then tighten it down. Okay, not too much, just enough. You don't want to break or make the bolt loose thread. Okay, that's it. It's time to put the belt back on. Like I've said, just refer to this video on how to. Okay, just so this video will be shorter. Okay, so everything's back in place. The belt is back in place. Our idler pulley is newly repaired, or should I say the bearings are newly re-greased. And let's start our engine and let's see if that's going to fix our whining noise problem. Okay, so I can say now that the whining is gone, but I'm gonna give this 30 seconds to idle. Okay, like I've shown in this video, give your engine 30 seconds to idle. Okay, okay, so it has been 30 seconds now. I'm going to rev this engine. Okay, okay, so as you have seen, that fixed our whining noise problem. So anyway, I do believe that's it for this video. That is how you can still salvage your bearing. If upon checking the bearing is not very wobbly or it does not have very considerable play, then you can still salvage that bearing by just cleaning it up and packing it up again with new grease. Now, like I've said, this is not about being cheap. This is about being practical, because there's really nothing wrong with the bearing. It just so happened that the grease all dried up. That is why it produced that whining sound brought about by metal to metal contact because of dried grease. So I will end this video here. By the way, I would like to apologize for the very long hiatus. I've been very busy lately, okay? But I already have a couple of videos lined up. Maybe in the coming days or maybe coming weeks, I would be able to upload them. So stay tuned. And I would like to say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to each and every one of you, okay? So I hope you like this video. I hope you find this informative. If you do, let me know in the comments below. I would appreciate that. If you're new to my channel, like, share, subscribe if you want to. Only if you want to, and as always, thank you for watching.